Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a balanced rack, very close to a bingo. I'm not seeing a 7, but there will be some 8s. I would have impinged through a G and impeding. So what if opponent changes? He doesn't. So let me consider these floaters. W doesn't look useful. How about the I? I've got the mini prefix. That doesn't go with an I. How about the N? Another duplicate. No, not seeing anything there. What about the K? Pinked? I don't think so. E. Well, that's also a duplicate. No, not seeing anything. I've got the demi prefix as well and the pedi prefix. How about the R? Wow, the R does look close. So annoying to miss an early doors bingo. No, I am not seeing one. So how to sort this rack out? M and P are my scoring tiles. Where can I play them? Well, I could play Wimped, and this opens the board wide open, which is actually my preference, especially as I'm behind from Winker. Just pausing in case I've missed a bingo here, but it hasn't come to mind. I am going with this. Not great, but I did draw 6 random tiles. I'll be looking to play off the V and the duplicates. Nowhere obvious for the V. Wow, fantastic. Bingo by opponent, 60 points. He's provided a few floaters, but they're not enough to salvage this rack. So do I have a play in row H? And I don't, and I am looking to get rid of the V. It is non-bingo-y. So I could play Vina down here. That's 15 points, and it completely closes down the top of the board, apart from the swinker hook. What about playing Vin across here? That's 3 fewer points, and it's creating a super hot spot. I suspect there's something better than either. What about a play down through this A of Aurelian, beginning with the V? Well, no, I'm looking for a 5-letter play. Not seeing one. I can't play through the I without retaining duplicate I, which I don't want to do. Gosh, quite a tricky spot. I think I will go with Vina for 15. The swinker spot's still there, and there's the opportunity of playing in row H to open up the top left of the board. That looks quite nice. I was going to say I've blocked Toledine, but I hadn't because of IA. No E available for that. No U available for dilution. Another amazing bingo by opponent. 90 points for Sibilik. And he is now 140 points in the lead. What can I do about this? A whole bunch of floaters. But do any of them work with this rack? And they do. I have dilation in column 12. Now, do I have anything onto the C of Sibilek? No, I don't think so. So the fight back starts here. Dilation for 70. And I draw the X, which is a good scoring tile. But are there any good X spots on this board? Well, there's the I of Wimped, but I can't get that to play twice. What about row H? Do I have a play which gets the X doubled? Don't think so. What about the I of Dilation? Again, I can't get that to play twice. So the X not a massive asset with this rack. And I'm not seeing anything with the C either. Do I have a way of getting the V doubled? Very vowel heavy rack. Great. Opponent's obviously concerned about the triple danger. Sacrifices an S for just 20 points. And I'm 90 points behind. I'm looking at column 11 to see if I've got a P something something X play. And I don't. What I do have in that spot is Expo, which has merit, because I'm setting up a super hot spot, or a fairly hot spot in row B, if opponent were to put a premium tile on this triple letter square. But apart from the Z, any other premium tile would open up access to row A triple word squares. Only 26 points. But it is doing something about the vowels. It's playing off 2 of them. 14 minutes on my clock. So, can I do better? What about a play beginning something X? No. What about a play getting the X tripled in column 10? Well, I have exam, but I think that's too good for opponent, putting an E in the middle of row A. And the reason I'm hesitating is that none of these moves are really leaving me with a great rack leave. I'd really like to play off one more vowel. So a play of something like EVOE would achieve that. No, I'm going with Expo for 26. Well, in a way that's good. I'm not swamped with vowels. I do have scoring tiles. I have a leeway on my rack as a 6-letter play. Okay, just 28 for opponent. Now P doesn't take an A or E in front, so I don't have a play in row A towards the left. What about a play in column 15? Well, the best I can see there is Alu for 33, but that keeps 2 of the scoring tiles, and I would like to keep only 1. So is there a way of doing that and scoring? Just looking to see if I've got to play through the X. And I don't. Viner takes an L. It would be nice to play off all 3 of my high-scoring tiles, because none of them is bingo-y. I could do that with Wavy, except I'm not seeing a spot for that. I could play leeway down from the L of Aurelian, but that takes an S, and it doesn't score very much. I could play Viewy through this I of Dilation. Again, it doesn't score very much. But it certainly sorts the rack out. 15 points, keeping probably the best rack leave. Only 15 points though. I'm 100 behind. And I'm contemplating playing down through this L. And the problem with DWEEB was that this is a fairly non-bingo-y board apart from the S hook for Winker. And given that I don't have an S, maybe I should be focusing in the first instance just on score. Or for 31, that's not great. Just wondering if there is a way of getting a big tile on this double letter square apart from the W. 10 minutes on my clock, this is frustrating. What about a play onto this N? Well, I could do 11. Really open the board up, keeping W and Y, which may be profitable in column 15. I like the idea of opening the board up. I am going with this. Well, nearly good, nearly root way. I do now have vowels which can go in front of the P. What about column 15? Not seeing anything which gets my W or Y doubled. Outweary the anagram of rootway, but I'm just one tile away from that. UWY, pretty grim. Be nice to get rid of all of them. Not sure I can. Okay, opponent takes out that spot. What can I do with my non-bingo-y rack? Now, a play of YOW would leave tour, which is quite nice. And I could play that down here for 16 points. This is probably the best rack leave I can hope for. That's 16 points. I can play the same tiles here for one more point and keeping these floaters available, which may prove useful. So I am going with Yowl for 17. Pretty horrendous. I do have outro in row A, which does something to sort the rack out. Still one blank and 2 S's to come, so with 29 tiles in the bag, it's worth playing off a lot of tiles. And quite a few heavy tiles to come, J, Q and Z. Opponent has signalled with that play that he probably has got the other S. So this is what I'm thinking of. Outro for 19, keeping G and U. Can I do any better than this? 8 minutes on my clock. I don't think so. I am going with this. I draw the Z. Is there anywhere to play it? I have, just where opponent has played the Q, I had ZAR, T-Z-A-R. So that's been scuppered. Zetas is good. Wow, that's a 100-point play if I had a 5-letter Z play. Gosh. To what extent should I be holding on to the Z for that possibility? Really tempting. So, and that would be worth burning a blank to achieve. So what I'd need to do is play off some tiles. 7 minutes on my clock. And I'm wondering if there's a way of doing that to distract opponent away from the Zeta's spot. Well, the alternative to holding out for a 5-letter Z play is simply just to make a 2-letter Z play, 65 points. I think that's got to be better. Horrible rack leave. That improves it quite a lot, actually. Row B is a useful bingo lane. This rack leave goes well with vowels. 7 minutes on my clock. I am going with Zag. Absolutely horrendous pickup. What a shame, and I trail by 20. But I fear that that margin's going to get wider. Great, no bingo from opponent, so I'm still in the game. But bingo lanes are shrinking, and this rack is horrendous. So, 11 tiles in the bag. Look at this, I have a U for going in front of the G, but I don't have a way of reaching the bottom. How foolish is this? For just 12 points, keeping rut. Opponent, with his eater's play, signalled he had an S. But anything other than a bingo in row O is likely to open a bingo lane in row N. Canoe, nice play, has completely shut out the bingo lanes at the top of the board. And the floaters in 11, so very destructive play by my opponent there. Row M available for bingos ending in N. Is there a way of opening up new bingo lanes? 5 minutes on my clock. What about making a play which is just 1 square shorter? Hard to do. The difficulty I'm facing is that I'm completely unable to open up new bingo lanes. The closest I can see is playing Dern for 7 points. This rack leaves pretty horrible. I think what I am going to go back to plan A and hope that opponent doesn't have a bingo beginning with an S. Let's see what happens. Turd for 12. I draw the blank. Is it going to be enough? I trail by 30, so I'm within a bingo's reach of opponent. If opponent had the S, he could well have been planning to put it on the end of Zag anyway, so this may not be massive. Just 7 tiles in the bag. Just looking for other ways of opening bingo lanes. Not seeing one. So, do I have a bingo ending in N? Don't think I do. What about a bingo beginning with D? No, I think this rack is just too non-bingo-y with F, U, and G. I may be able to play GIF next turn through the Eye of Wimped, or indeed Fag in column 3. That's 7 tiles in the bag at the moment. I would have fraughtage onto an E. Now, a play of fun. Great, that's probably the best I could hope for. Opponent does create a new bingo lane. And what I 4 tiles in the bag. What I was thinking of doing was playing fun here, creating 2 bingo lanes above and below the F. Best possible rack leave. And there is the bingo lane beginning with D or above the G. Can opponent just extinguish both of those with a 3-letter play down from the F? Yes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, the L isn't available. Still looking around in case there are other bingo lanes on the board. Can I do better than fun? So fun for 6. Is that really the best I can do? Let me put this back. I've still got 3 minutes. So this is quite a nice bingo lane opponents has opened for bingos beginning DRA, or indeed bingos beginning with an A. What if I played Alf here? No, that's not great. 3 minutes on my clock. Maybe I should just leave the bottom of the board alone. But is that the right thing to do? And is there anywhere to play all of the tiles F, U and G? 2 minutes on my clock. I think I am going to play fun. That extra bingo lane in row L might be hard for opponent to block. Fun for 6. Okay, so 2 tiles in the bag. Do I have a bingo here? It's not looking great. I'm going to cycle through the alphabet and I'm looking for 7s. It's not seen anything yet. Okay, so opponent has taken out all the bingo lanes. Nothing goes in front of FE, and he's scored a lot. So I trail by 100. I don't think a bingo would be enough now. So I can stop looking for 7s. And consider what to do to minimize the losing spread. So I can see what opponent's got. He's got EHIN, and he's got Chine in column 2. So I really just need to see how much I can score in row O. One minute on my clock, not very much. Just thinking there could be a bingo in column 3, but I don't think that probably would be enough, actually. A bingo ending AGE, but I'm not seeing it. So I do want to play the H, so I can play aha for 44. Can make that one bigger with taha. And I think that's the best I can manage. Taha for 47. I guess there was the VT combination, but that's not particularly bingo friendly. Maybe a play of tug, keeping the F. Okay, so opponent does go out. And the final score, 346 for me, 412 for my opponent, a winning margin of 66 points. So well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first, and he played Winker. My rack, no bingo here, and I played Wimped. What else was on offer? A7, that's not good. Opening up row A. Yep, nothing obviously better, and certainly nothing scoring as much. Opponent's rack. And a great spot here, given he's got 5 vowels. And he finds Aurelian. So I trail by 70. In Vital, D6 through the A. Yep, that's quite nice. What do I do? Yeah, I play Vina for just 5 fewer points, keeping an okay rack leave. Lint isn't 5 points better than N. In Vital, it doesn't really open anything. It doesn't take an S at the end, but it's probably no worse than Vina in terms of killing the top of the board. It does block the Swinker hook. So I think in Vital probably slightly better. Now look at this unpromising rack. But opponent finds Sibyllic, which was a great spot, and now has a 140-point lead. I come back with Dilation. And now opponent's rack, and he plays Rocks for 21. So I trail by 80. And I didn't like my play here. I played Expo for 26. X-Ohm. Well, I don't like that, putting an E in the middle of row A. And all of these top plays do that, so nothing obviously better than Expo. Opponent's rack. Plays Petrol. H1, 11. This was a move I spent ages on, and I think I did end up with 11, and I still like that. It's a good score, it's opening the board up, and I am going to score with the W and the Y. Opponent's rack, no bingo, but looks close. Plays Fled. And this was pretty grim. Now, F9. Oh, wow, look at that. I played Yowl, and I could have put all 3 tiles in the same order, 1 square to the left for 28 points. How annoying is that? Look at that. Just physically moved them across 1 square, and I would have got 11 more points. Well, I didn't see that. Well done if you did. But I certainly agree with playing off those tiles. Now, nice rack for opponent, but no bingo. Plays Eaters, and he did have the second S at that point. So I trail by 80, so the game's certainly not over. Now, I play Outro, but I could have played Outgo, which certainly would have been better. J2, Grout and Geeters. Not massively better. Outro has the advantage of opening up a new bingo lane, but Outgo definitely would have been better. Opponent's rack plays Chi, and now I play Zag for 67, and I like that. Opponent's rack. No bingo here, but this is probably the best move of the game in terms of its effect. It absolutely kills so many bingo lanes in the top of the board. It kills the Swinker lane, it kills row B, and it kills all of the lanes which end with tiles in 11. So very nice play, and that gives an opponent a 50-point lead, which ordinarily I would have hope from, but this rack made it difficult. So I played Turd for 12, and I still like that. Opponent spent a while and played Seg for 30, so I can still catch opponent with a bingo, and I do have the blank, but there are only 4 tiles in the bag, and there is a shortage of bingo lanes. G1, Arf, keeping the G and the U, not a fan of that. I play Fun, which had some merit, and I'm really not interested in the score here because I think any bingo is going to be enough. I'm just wondering if there's more I could have, or something I could have done under Zetas to open up row L, maybe a parallel 2-letter play to make it hard to block all bingo lanes. But I couldn't find such a play. I played Fun. Opponent plays Jombe. Now, is there anything? And there isn't. So 07 Har for 48, and I got 1 fewer for Taha. And then finally, opponent has a couple of outs. He has chine, which he played, but also J4, he has Thean down from the T, so I certainly wasn't going to block opponent's outs. And that was the end of the game. So, absolutely cracking game. Opponent got off to a flying start with Aurelian and Sibyllic, but I came back with Dilation and managed to be within a bingo's reach of opponent going into the end game and with the blank. But opponent made some good plays, particularly with Canoe and Jombe, and shut the door on my bingo comeback. So well done once again to my opponent for a great battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.